One can no more command the power of ether by drowning in its flood than one can constrain the tides by standing in the sea. I had thought Hugo wiser than this, but it seems his head was full of rocks after all.
Titan was strong.
Your Majesty.
But mythos is stronger. For 5 years, that man lived only for revenge, clinging fast to a fiction even as it swept him into the abyss. One cannot change one's nature through force of will alone. Only the Almighty can do that.
Hugo Kupka, the man who gave his life for a woman's head. A fool like all the rest.
That the death of a mother crystal should be so beautiful.
Some medicine, my lord? I have salves, potions, anything you need.
Stop bothering me, urchin, or you'll feel the back of my hand.
You must consider your health, my prince. If a show of force is needed to keep the Dalmex at bay, you may trust in your dragoons. I beg you to call on Bahamut only as a last resort. His strength comes at too great a cost.
The Empire agreed to an armistice with the Republic, and yet the Emperor still plots its ruin. For now, the Dalmex suspect nothing, and as long as I can hold their gaze, war need not be inevitable. But more than that, Bahamut is the champion of the Empire. When our people look to the heavens, the sight of him gives them hope. Forgive me, Terence. Would that you were my master. But alas.
I will always be your loyal servant.
Should the Council's brazen maneuvering prompt the Republic to tear up their own treaty and launch a new assault, our soldiers would advance to meet them, cutting across the Central Isles, but not in time to prevent their forces from breaching the southern defenses and storming Twinside. And so the capital would become a battlefield. Thousands of innocents would die. I cannot allow that to happen.
There is one small mercy, at least. You will not be forced to do battle with Titan.
Would that I could avoid doing battle at all.
1,000 pardons, Your Highness.
What is it?
Olivier has been made emperor. What is the meaning of this? My father's orders. What were they? Quickly!
Yes, Your Highness. His Radiance requests that Your Highness maintain position here and...
Gah! Terence,
Yes, my prince.
I must go to the palace.
I'll ready your steed.
What is it now?
Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness.
I know you.
At ease.
We stand in the presence of the Phoenix. You wouldn't want to get your fingers burned.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. Though I admit, I did not expect such a distinguished guest.
How many years has it been since the remembrance ceremony? 20?
I thought you long dead. Do I address a ghost?
Many have told me that I look like one. But no. I'm alive. Just. Prince Dion of the House Lesage, I have a tale to tell you.
Nie opowiesz tak łatwo, nie opowiesz. To co? Wracamy do kryjówki, ależ tu się działo. Głowa za mała, nie? Żeby to pojąć. A tu już kolejny wątek. I Dion, i Odyn, i Joshua. No to chwila.
I'd better give Otto the good news.
Chwila spokoju, co? Chyba tak. No to dobra, mamy nowe raporty. Co tu jeszcze? Co tu jeszcze się dzieje? Na pewno jakieś zleconko. O, nawet szepcik. Myślę, że najpierw jednak z Ottonem pogadamy, później do komnaty. Ale już nowym wątkiem. Już nowym wątkiem tam troszkę zajawili. Joshua z Dionem. No on chciał się dostać do niego, nie? Ciekawe jaką ma propozycję, ciekawe jaką historię opowie. Może o Clive'ie? O Ultimie? Że zaraz świat zginie? Dobra, nektarek czeka.
Ah, my favorite pupil. How may I help you today? Of course.
Sprawdźmy co tu się podziało. To tak, gospoda. Tu mamy rozejm. Coś się tutaj zmieniło. Jest wyrwanie kła smoka. Nie żyje Hugo Kubka. Ależ to była bitwa. Najbardziej epicka bitwa na razie w całej grze, może w całej historii gamingu. Ejkon. Tytan stał się fundamentem, na którym stworzono republikę. No tak, no tak. Dobra, tu mamy jeszcze dominanta Odyna. On się już też pojawił. I ten, Lord Dowódca, Lord Harbard. Co on chce? Jednak jego zaangażowanie w pomoc w ewakuacji pozostaje tajemnicą. Tajemnicą. Tajemnicza istota. Dobra, a tutaj? Po wydarzeniach w głowie smoka. Coś Dion? Na razie nic. Ale tutaj, nie? Tutaj nieznane są zamiary. No fajnie. A i właśnie tu Lord Dowódca do kubki. Cesarzowa coś? Makabra, ile tu się dzieje? Ile tu się dzieje? Czyli tu mamy upadek i księstwo też się przyczaiło. Tu będą, no raczej będą zajmować po prostu te tereny, próbować zajmować i ruszyć na cesarstwo w tym kryształowym dominium. No bo zobaczcie, oni by mieli te tereny, już wszystkie, tam już kubki nie ma, to już jest bieda totalna. Więc oni sobie po prostu to wezmą. Dobra. Polityka, polityka. Ale nektarek musi być. Co tam nowego? Ty cały czas masz jakieś fajne rzeczy nowe. Wow, tyle? Pustynia. Pusta rudera. Kociarnia. Paszcza. A to nie wiadomo, co to jest? Niszczyciel? Niszczyciel światów. Na randze S. Ale to w ogóle nie mamy co podchodzić na razie. Z takim ekwipunkiem i z takim levelem. Musielibyśmy te podstawowe zrobić.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go.
Co masz za raporty? W Republice, tak? No nie, tych nie robimy. Jak nie ma takich z plusikiem, to akurat tych nie robimy. Tutaj z plusikiem nie ma, nie? Nie ma. Dobra. Oto. Troszkę, żebym zawojował tam.
Clive, you're back.
I am. And with glad tidings for once. Hugo Kupka is no more.
Well, I'll be. All of our comrades who lost their lives back at Sid's place be smiling down at you right now.
We had a stolus from Lubor saying Drake's fang had fallen. I expect that was your doing as well, was it?
It's a long story.
One for the history books, I'll bet.
Welcome home, Clive.
It's good to be back. You look better.
I feel it. Which means I'm coming on your next little adventure. You're not leaving me behind again.
Wouldn't dream of it. Otto, any word on the royalist movements since I've been away?
Shouldn't you be putting your feet up? If you really want to know, go and have a word with Vivian.
Thank you. I will.
A to może nam przedstawi jeszcze sytuację geopolityczną. Ale już te informacje takie mniejsze mamy.
The conquering hero returns. And with hardly a scratch on him.
I may have picked up one or two.
Well, the fact that you came straight to me instead of visiting our resident physiker suggests that you picked up something more important. A scent. The scent of Waludas.
The very same. But whatever plans Kupka was hatching with the royalists, he took them to his grave. As did his men. Slaughtered by the orcs who'd taken over the Fang. Orcs, Vivian. I've never seen such creatures in Storm before. The Waludas must have ferried them over from Ash, but why? Why work to rescue Kupka only to invade his home, the mother crystal of an allied nation, and let both fall? It makes no sense.
Do you know the tale of the blind men and the Adamantus? One can often be led astray by focusing too closely on individual details. One must instead see the bigger picture. And what bigger picture is there than my map?
Proszę, proszę, na to czekam.
The kingdom of Waloed claims dominion over all of Ash. It is a nation forged by the bloody conquest of Barnabas Tharm, the dominant of Odin. The Canvarian War of Independence in 849. The Battle of the Twin Realms in 865. The Battle of Belinus Tor in 873. Wheresoever his armies fought, Odin was found where the fighting was fiercest. But of late, the warrior king appears to have laid his sword to rest. Battle rages for control of the crystalline dominion. Yet Tharm sends not a single ship in support of his Dhalmekian allies. Meanwhile, the Blight ravages great swathes of Ash. Yet warlike Waloed shows not the faintest interest in laying claim to untouched lands. So why go to the trouble of sending an army of orcs into the heart of Drake's Fang, only to make no attempt to claim the Mother Crystal for Waloed? It can hardly be for lack of men. Tharm's armies rival any in the Twins. No. We have not seen the last of the Waloed standard. Odin will ride again. It is but a question of when. And on that day, who will be trampled underfoot? In summary, I know not to what end the royalist betrayed Kupka. I know only that it is part of some broader scheme. A scheme tied to the ambitions of one man.
King Barnabas.
But there is no need to wallow in confusion. If one is to cure a sickness, one must first identify the symptoms. And your Lord Uncle has volunteered to do just that by keeping an eye on the royalists' movements.
He's really throwing himself into this.
Indeed he is. Which means all that remains for us to do is await his reports. Well, not quite all in your case. The people of the Hideaway must hear the news. Justice has been done. Hugo Kupka is dead. The wounds he left that night are still raw, especially for those who lived with Sid the longest. Tell them that those wounds might finally begin to heal. Consider it the price of today's instruction.
I've never known you to be sentimental.
What can I say? I am only human. And we are, all of us, sentimental animals at heart.
I suppose we are. Very well. I'll go and spread the word.
Ale czyżby ta kryjówka na razie była bezpieczna? O, tutaj nowe przedmioty, tak? Czyżby ta kryjówka była bezpieczna? No bo tutaj myślę, że Odyn nie będzie aż tak sięgał. Ewentualnie cesarstwo, nie? Ale ciekawe kto pierwszy. Dobra, co tu się zmieniło, pani? Wyrwanie? Tu może jakaś sytuacja, tak? Dobra, powrót do kryjówki. Spoko. Spoko, spoko. Zobaczmy, co się dzieje na tym krańcu. O, troszkę informacji. Tutaj jest Haron, jest nasz młociarz. Myślę, że zrobimy sobie jakąś nową broń. Coś tam z kubki chyba zostało, co? No, bitwa nie bywała, nie bywała. Draśnięcie albo dwa. No, na pewno.
Well, someone looks pleased with himself. It's true what I'm hearing, then?
Nothing escapes you, Lady Karen. It's true. Kupka is dead.
No more looking over our shoulders, then. Good. I'm starting to get a crick in my neck. Don't let it go to your head, though.
Nie uderzę, ale sprawdźmy, co tam masz nowego, pani. Co tam nowego? Serio? Wzmacniacz? Skąd pani masz takie rzeczy? Ale tu nie będziemy kupować. Nie, będziemy się starać robić. Tu jakieś szepty. Pustynna róża. A, skorupa małża. Nie wiem, czy to nie było potrzebne. Nie wiem, czy to mi nie było potrzebne do wytworzenia. Zobaczymy. A tu jakieś cuda na kiju, eliksir. Może ja coś sprzedam. Materiał to jest cenne. Gilowy. Zawsze to jest cenne. Dobra, jest fajnie. Ja teraz zobaczę, czy tutaj to nie było potrzebne, ale to najpierw pogadajmy.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
What is it? I'm busy.
I wanted to tell you that Hugo Cooper is dead.
I can't tell you how long I've been waiting to hear those words. This is it then. A new beginning under a new Sid.
I'll try to live up to the name.
Kurde. No Clive jest kozak, ale tam jest jakiś plan wobec niego, więc na razie jeszcze mało wiemy. Po prostu ubijamy tytanów, ale mało wiemy. O, tu jest wzmacniacz, to jest lepszy. Ziemna furia. Tylko on jest taki... On jest taki zielonkawy. Diamentowy miecz. Kość białego żmija. No ale zrobię, nie? 240, 15 więcej. Jego będę mógł jeszcze sobie chyba ulepszyć. Plus 1 wzmacniacz. A tu zobaczmy. Pas. Skorupa małża, tak. Wrzościowatego, czyli to możemy sobie kupić. A tutaj... No to bym musiał mieć tą masę. I też skorupę. Czyli tak. Skorupę sobie kupujemy. A tu jeszcze zobaczę, wzmacniacz. No. Kościany naszyjnik. Spoko. To już jest niezłe. 10-10. Przepraszam bardzo, kupię te skorupy. Dzień dobry. Przed chwilą tu byłem u pani. I pani miała coś fajnego. Potrzebuję tego 8 sztuk, ale wezmę 10. Takie tanie? Takie tanie to macie? Po prostu trzeba było troszkę poczekać. No ale fajne. Fajne, to będzie niezłe. 4 i 13 więcej. Jak na pas. Okej. No ale tego się nie da wzmacniać, nie? Tych takich epickich. No dobra, fajnie. Tu jeszcze coś było na moim biureczku. No, trofea są. A ciekawe, może Jill napisała. Pustynny sojusz. Ruzena. Drogi Cidzie, mam nadzieję, że wybaczysz mi, iż podałem ciebie i twojego kochanego wuja testowi. Jestem pewna, że człowiek na twoim stanowisku rozumie, że czasem na zaufanie trzeba sobie zasłużyć, zwłaszcza w takich czasach jak obecnie. Jeśli to cokolwiek znaczy, to tobie udało się już zasłużyć na moje i zapewniam cię, że łatwo go nie utracisz. Niech będzie to początkiem owocnej znajomości. Cały czas pod tym pseudonimem. I później nam się wydaje, że to jakaś Ruzena. No ale spoko, spoko. Może coś się tutaj dowiedział o naszym Torgalu? Albo ogólnie o tym, co się tu wyprawia? Panie drogi? Co tu się wyprawia?
Clive, have you come seeking the gift of knowledge?
No. To share mine, actually. Hugo Cooper is dead.
Oh my. Can it really be true?
Look, he's crying. He is the big baby.
And with good reason, children. These are tears of joy. We must offer up a prayer to your parents that the heavens might weep with us. There shall be no lessons today, only thanksgiving and merrymaking. Go, put away your things.
All right. Brilliant.
Finally, a new dawn has broken.
It has.
Thank you, Clive. I cannot wait to share the good news.
Hippocrates. After Kuka fell, Ultima came to me. I need to know what he is. Have you learned anything?
Alas, no. And not for want of trying. I have scoured nigh every historical tome in our collection and found nothing. Not even the sort of conspicuous absence that might suggest a concealment of fact. One is almost tempted to conclude that such a creature never existed.
But I saw him. With my own eyes.
I don't doubt that you did. Alas, it seems you are the only one who has. To others, he reveals naught. We see only that which he leaves in his wake, like some terrible force of nature beyond the ken of mortal man.
A bringer of death.
Whether the Ultima you met with was the being itself, or merely another projection of its power, I know not. But until I do, my investigations shall continue.
Thank you. It means a lot. Right. Let's see if Otto has anything else for me.
Jakieś potęgi. No ale Joshua też go widzi. No to jest związane tutaj z braćmi, ale... Patrzcie, ten mieczyk taki... w miarę zwykły, nie? Nie ma tutaj nowych informacji?
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Oj, prawie.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer.
Nie no, kieł smoka jest. Tutaj zobaczmy, bo to jest Lord Harbard, to widzieliśmy już. O, Mead. Córka Sida. Fajnie. Bernard. Tu jest ten Lubor. Pustynny zając. Ferda, wspólnik, jasne. To była ta zasadzka. O, Sir Terence. Kochanek. Dobra, to jest kochanek Diona. Jest ciekawie. Popiół. Kurczę, ci mają tak te tereny objęte plagą, że to jest już końcowa. Jak oni nie zaczną podbijać nowych terytoriów, to będzie słabo. Nie będą się mieli gdzie podziać, ale myślę, że pójdą na ten teren Republiki. Myślę, że pójdą na ten teren. Oblężenie, ale coraz więcej tu już mamy. Coraz więcej. O, święci rycerze dragoni. Kurde, ten Dion jest niezły. Ja myślę, że on przejdzie jakoś na naszą stronę, albo chociaż będzie uparcie odwracał się od swojego ojca, bo to co tam się dzieje z tą matką głupią, to jest nieporozumienie. To jest nieporozumienie. Jakiegoś młodego od razu dali na tron i tyle. No ten był piękny. Upadek kła. A to widzieli tutaj ludzie Odyna. Gospoda. Tam co się dzieje w tym cesarstwie to jest nie do pomyślenia. I królestwo Waledu. No zostali oni i cesarstwo. Tylko oni. No plus ten Ultima, ale ten Ultima to jest jakiś wynaturzenie. Albo to jest nasze odbicie naszej jakiejś potęgi, bo nawet tamten mówi na nas Mytos? Jakiś Mykos? Dajcie spokój. Ja jestem Clive, a nie Mytos. Niepodległość. Co my tu jeszcze mamy? Tu już wszystko. Kryształ. Czarny rynek, tak. Tutaj sporo tego mieli. Sporo tego mieli. No i Joshua, nie? Joshua, to teraz będzie temat numer 1. Lodowy wilk. Myślę, że już... O, to było niezłe, to było niezłe. Myślę, że już teraz by mogli spokojnie przejść do rzeczy z Joshuą. Biały kwiat będący symbolem świętego cesarstwa. A tu mi brakuje jednej rzeczy. Tu mi brakuje jednej rzeczy. Bahamut, Odyn, wszystko jest. Orkowie. Sępy. O! Kurl. To był ten. Na dziedzińcu. No nie wszystkiego, bo chciałbym wiedzieć troszkę więcej o Ultimie, ale dopóki nie pogadamy z Joshuą, to się nie wyjaśni. I to tak najwcześniej. A najpóźniej nigdy. To się nie wyjaśni. O to, co tam masz dla mnie? A zobaczymy jeszcze, czy nie ma tu jakichś nowych może dodatków? Bo ile tego mamy? 180. Medalion kleryka 350. Dobra, to jeszcze długo.
You barely sat down since you came home. Vivian got you running errands or something?
Just spreading the word.
So, the professor's got a soft side, has she? I'd never have guessed.
No. She was right, though. Everyone was glad to hear the news.
Ah, but you ain't told everyone. I can think of plenty of friends back at the old hideaway who'd sleep more peacefully for knowing. Not least of all Sid. You should tell him.
You're right. I should. And I will.
Well, when you do, be sure to take Mid with you. She's been going at it hammer and tongs down in that workshop of hers, trying to do her father proud. I can't remember the last time she visited the old sod's grave.
Very well. I'll suggest it.
No to idziemy na grób, tak? Sida. No, Mid tutaj pracuje. Ten warsztat już powinien być dostępny w sumie. Już zobaczmy. Nie ma tam jakiejś aktywności, ale... Ale to na pewno pomaga. A tutaj... Tutaj wszystko stworzone na nowo.
Alright, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapours away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides, that stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Przekażę to w odpowiednie ręce. Ja jestem takim przekaźnikiem dobrej nadziei i w ogóle jakiejkolwiek nadziei na lepsze jutro. Ale proszę państwa, zostały 2 kryształy w tym całym świecie. 2 kryształy. Oj, tutaj poboczne. Nie chcemy tych pobocznych. Jak myślicie, kto pierwszy? Szczerze mówiąc... No chyba królewscy, a później cesarstwo. Bo cesarstwo tak wychodzi na głównego złola. Skonfrontować się z matką. Ojojoj, to by było.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. I'd spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Osłona cieplna.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin Otto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Velcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with.
Możemy wybrać? Parabuch. Ciekawe, czy możemy wybrać. Zbierz niezbędne materiały.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these 2 lucky souls is going with you?
Mogę wybrać? O! Ja wezmę Gawa.
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Alamill. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of this stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting him fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time.
Dlaczego mam się nie spieszyć? Dobra, czyli teraz tak, do rzeczki, tak? Do rzeczki. Tu sobie polecimy. Gdzie to mają? A na tym terenie. Na tym nowym. Gospoda. No to dobra, śmigamy. Śmigamy, rozejrzymy się troszkę. Może tam będzie jakaś bestia przy okazji. Ale to już bez presji, nie? Myślę, że skupiamy się tutaj głównie na tej fabule. Gospoda. Okej. No to tu świetnie. Tu gdzieś walczyliśmy o te kryształy. Ojej. Jesteś Gav?
Looks like I found the
Gdzie
river.
jesteś Gav?
Where's Gav?
No gdzie jesteś Gav?
Ready go?
Halo? Mam dla ciebie czokobonsa. Nie chcesz pojeździć na czokobonsie? A on tu już jest.
Be safe. Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of the stuff lying about just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
A to jest ten biały? Ten biały pył? Zbierz gwiezdny pył. Ej, serio? To nas wysłali. Ale są właśnie między takimi ważnymi wydarzeniami. Są takie spokojniejsze misje, takie bardziej FedExy. I dlatego tutaj nie robimy już tych pobocznych. Nie robimy już tych pobocznych, bo one już naprawdę byłyby bardzo do siebie podobne. A w fabule, jeśli mamy takie zadanka, to już wystarczy. Bo sama fabuła i tak jest bardzo długa, nie? Ponad 30 godzin, więc nam tu zejdzie pod 40 pewnie. Z tym, co już zrobiliśmy, bo troszkę pobocznych zrobiliśmy, nie? Jeszcze jedna próbka. Tutaj nie przejdziemy. Jeszcze jedna próbeczka. Może gdzieś tutaj na brzegu. Tutaj, no. Ale ładne są te tereny. Lazurkowa woda.
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
Tu jeszcze brakuje jakiejś takiej ekipy do bicia. Wszystko by było w porządku? Aż dziwne.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
50. A ty?
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you.
Nie ma sprawy, Gav. Ile on razy nas ocalił, nie?
Right, that's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
Goodbye. Goodbye. Chyba możemy spokojnie wracać, nie? Dobra. Dobra, to widzimy się tam u naszego kowala.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Też mam nadzieję. Tylko co oni chcą zrobić tutaj za statek? Będziemy się bić na statki? Albo w sumie Odyn ma taki potężny, nie?
Blackthorn. Got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the Stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. Or beat sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
No dobrze, ale to może jeszcze być... To może jeszcze być ważne. Parabuch 1. Goblińska moneta.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Może będzie bitwa na statki. Dobra, wracamy do Myd, a tutaj jest ten grajek, Jaskier. Jaskier. Ogólnie ta kryjówka jest mega ciekawa. Bardzo mnie interesuje, czy kiedykolwiek ktoś tutaj będzie nam zagrażał, bo po śmierci kubki to już w miarę spoko. Okej, nie mamy 350, to nawet tam nie sprawdzam, bo kleryka nie potrzebuję. Jill już czuje się lepiej. Także nie jest najgorzej, ale jeszcze sporo przed nami. Sporo epickich batalii, jak to się tam zacznie z Joshuą, z Dionem, z Odynem. To będzie szok.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Pani Heleno?
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why? If sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Trzeba zebrać drużynę. Para buch 2, czyli będzie jeszcze 3. Ale wiecie co? Troszkę techniki musiało być, żeby ta tożsamość finala została zachowana. Bo tu jest tak bardzo średniowiecznie, ale nie mieliśmy takiej właśnie inżynierii, co jest charakterystyczne dla finali. Więc dobrze, dobrze. Wyruszamy. Tu gdzieś bardzo blisko Lostwigu, tak? Tam będzie czekała ekipa Heleny. Dobrze. Dzień dobry, pani Heleno. Jak się dziś mamy?
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Niestety nie mogę się nią zająć, tą maszkarą wielką. Oj, tu wyjdzie zaraz z lasu, co?
Anybody home? This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Tego mieliśmy jako pierwszy niepożądany gość. On był jako pierwszy ten z listy, nie? Tych potworków. Dokładnie tak. Ja cię kręcę. Ale tu są bitki. Tylko on też coś stosuje. A, udało się uniknąć. Ale go klepie. O, ja cię kręcę. Dobra. Spadł z rowerka. A tam można anulować jeszcze ten wicher, co jest ciekawe. Tak, można sobie anulować, jak nam przeszkadza w walce za długo albo coś. Dobra, to nie weszło. No i jest byczek Fernando. Oj, uwaga, uwaga. Udało się fajnie uciec. W sumie troszkę jak Ifrit, nie? Troszkę jak Ifrit. Ten atak. Ściągniemy? Ściągniemy dziadygę. I teraz Tytan jest idealny do tego. Rocky Balboa. Dobra, zaraz padnie. Nie, chciałem tym. Oj, oj, oj. Co my tu byśmy mieli fajnego? Za chwilę będzie Garuda. Garuda! Na pomoc! Oj. Chodź tu, chodź. Będzie Phoenix. Na koniec zabawy. Jeszcze się trzyma? A jednak tytan. Ojeju. Te bitwy są niezwykle epickie. Teraz troszkę mamy spokoju, ale jak się dorwiemy do tych ikonów. Cudo.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Przecież ja przed chwilą pani walczyłem z tytanem. Z Lordem Kubka. Oko wojownika wydłuża działanie toniku siły. Ciekawe, czy już możemy wrócić? Dobra, możemy wrócić. Teraz nam chyba dają troszkę takiej swobody, żebyśmy dokończyli sobie swoje sprawy. Może jakieś poboczne albo zlecenia, ale my się jednak skupimy na tym, co najważniejsze. Wracamy do Mid i tam powinna być jeszcze trzecia część Sagali, co? Tak, trzecia część Sagali, ale zobaczmy też, szybka podróż nie jest aż taka długa, więc powiedzmy, że tutaj wykorzystali te możliwości PS5. Nie jest najgorzej. No i też ja wiem, że sporo graczy czeka na wersję PC-tową, ale ona nie będzie od razu za rok jakby, tylko może być nawet później. Nawet później, bo do 24 jest ekskluzywność, ale może być nawet później. Zobaczymy. Mid! Dobre informacje.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Hippocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Ale są takie właśnie tutaj, jakby oceniać całość finala, to są takie właśnie przestoje, nie? Takie fedeksiki, które wiadomo, że można by już taką historię do przodu i ona by miała z 15 godzin, a nie 35. Dałoby się coś takiego zrobić, natomiast tu są jeszcze takie naleciałości właśnie z tych JRPG-ów, które są zawsze takie gigantyczne, rozwleczone i tam są zadania, no takie przynieść, wynieść, pozamiataj, tego jest sporo. Dlatego w takich najlepszych produkcjach, takich zachodnich, no to już od tego odchodzą, ale w takich dosłownie kilku. Na palcach jednej ręki można te gry policzyć, które są w takim nawet półotwartym świecie. No bo takie liniowe to wiadomo, że tego nie mają.
Hippocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Mógłbyś rzucić?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
No tak, akurat wiedza z przeszłości jest tutaj przydatna.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Ale to jest pierwszy raz, znaczy tutaj ogólnie w tym zadaniu, nie? Czyli drugi taki wybór. Kogo wybieramy? Oczywiście, że Jill.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Chłopie.
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Pogadamy sobie jak zwykle. Chyba nie coś więcej, to nie ten czas. Ale jak mamy takie zadania, takie fedeksiki, to zwiastują coś mega mocnego. Mega mocnego, ale to spokojnie. Cierpliwy to i kamień ugotuje. O, Tutaj na targowisku?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled.
Tutaj może coś kupimy.
Are those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Garlic. Pani Garlic z Hogwartu. Panie, ja mam dużo gili jak coś. Czosneczek, czosneczek. D1, wyprzedano już? A tutaj zwiększa ochronę na 99. Good. Orzechy Pepio. Chyba takich nie jadłem.
Buy, sell, or be gone.
Co 20? A jakbyśmy nie mieli 20? Ależ by było. Ależ by było. Jakbyśmy wszystko wydali na uciechy.
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
No nie wierzę.
Garlic and Pepio nuts. Perfect. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while? Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells?
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive.
Kurde, aż dziwny ten quest, nie?
Well, I suppose we better be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
No te trzy questy są dziwne. Naprawdę są dziwne. Co tam Torgo? Tutaj aż jesteśmy. Wow. No to nieźle się zapuściliśmy. Dobra, wracamy do kryjówki. Może się uda już stworzyć tą bestyję. Może się uda. No ale to musi być epickie. Tylko gdzie my chcemy wyruszać? Od razu gdzieś się tam lać? No musimy zawalczyć o 2 kryształy, ale tu jeszcze się musi dużo zadziać w przestrzeni. Joshua i inni muszą jeszcze swoje ruchy wykonać.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Hipokrates to powinien być. A Jill tam... No, dzięki. Ale jeszcze czekam na tą chwilę.
Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Dobra. To widzimy się teraz u Mid. Mid, może się uda już ten statek, co? Jest szansa?
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat, a coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
Chłopiec na posyłki. No teraz tak.
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
No ten quest jest rzeźnia. Jest rzeźnia ten questik. To jest to? Przekaźnik?
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Thank fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's 1 down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off, my gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
No trochę przegięłaś, Myt. Trochę przegięłaś. Nie mamy kowala.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye. Tarja.
It told me she was building a ship.
Aye, aye, sir. Dobra, chyba mamy stateczek.
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Ale jazda. Ale jazda. Dobra, dotrzyj na pokład dziobowy. Co tu się dzieje?
Obelus, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry and all, are you? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelus.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, uncle?
Mój drogi chłopcze, moja podróż do Canveru była nadzwyczaj udana. Przyjaciel, o którym wspomniałem, nie tylko zgodził się podzielić z nami zawartością swojej szkatuły, ale również wiedzą o wydarzeniach w wolnych miastach, dzięki czemu dowiedziałem się o działaniach twojej młodej przyjaciółki. Chociaż wierzę, że projekt panny Telamon to prawdziwe przedsięwzięcie, to wątpię, by władze Hanweru przychylnie spoglądały na nieautoryzowane wykorzystanie stoczni, nawet opuszczonej. A jeśli te wieści dotarły już do uszu mojego przyjaciela, to nie minie wiele czasu, zanim mistrzowie gildii zapukają do naszych drzwi. Dlatego właśnie piszę do ciebie tę wiadomość. Chciałbym pożyczyć twojego człowieka, Gawa, na miesiąc lub 2, żeby miał baczenie na tych, którzy mogą źle życzyć naszej wspólnocie i ostrzec nas przed nadciągającym atakiem. Ufam, że dogłębnie przemyślisz tę propozycję. No ja już tu myślałem, że będzie spokój w kryjówce. A tu twój kochający wuj.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
No oby. Powariowali wszyscy już, tak? Powariowali. No tu jest ta kryjóweczka i stara kryjóweczka. Dziedzictwo Cyda. Kurz zdążył już opaść nad ruinami tego niegdyś gwarnego azylu, który wielu nazywało domem. No właśnie to było bardzo blisko, nie? Jeśli film ci się podobał, zachęcam do subskrypcji i wsparcia kanału na patronite.pl. Wszystkie przydatne linki w opisie. Natomiast kolejny odcinek znajdziesz na środku ekranu. Kliknij w niego i oglądaj już teraz.